Sports Illustrated.
Reminder of our main headlines now. Doctors in Belgrade will decide whether the former Bosnian Serb General Ratko Mladic is fit enough to attend the hearing on whether he'll be transferred to the War Crimes Tribunal in The Hague. The main story this hour. Let's go to the US, an environmentally friendly and an increasingly cheaper alternative to home demolition. It's home deconstruction. It's recycling on a grand scale and involves taking buildings apart and using all the bits and pieces you retrieve to build new houses. I heard more from Dave Bennink. In 2009, he was named National Building Deconstructor of the Year.
We systematically disassemble buildings, and that takes a lot of labor, a lot of handwork, instead of using machines in an effort to maximize reuse and recycling.
And you're talking here literally brick by brick?
Yeah, in some cases, we've perfected some methods that incorporate machines and people to be even faster.
If you take the average house you work on, in sort of percentage terms, how much can you actually recycle, reuse, use to rebuild a home?
Our goal is 85% of the materials being diverted from the landfill, and that's not including, items like concrete, which are so commonly diverted from the landfill that they, in some ways, they don't even count. But 85% diverted from the landfill is a good goal, and it depends on, in the States, it depends on what kind of recycling operations are in your area. You might have to go 500 miles to recycle a certain type of material, and that becomes that isn't economically viable.
I wonder, is this a technique which can be used in a post-disaster scenario? If you take, for example, what happened after Hurricane Katrina, is it something you can apply there, or is the destruction simply so massive that you can't reuse a lot of the stuff which has been destroyed?
Well, it's interesting. When you think about, you look back to World War II, for example, and you have buildings that were bombed out, similar to a hurricane in some ways, you might say, but you have a lot of people with a lot of time on their hands. Maybe the business that they work at is no longer open or exists. And so we've been trying to come up with ways to incorporate deconstruction and to quickly set up something after after a tragedy like that.
You're pretty good at what you do. What does it take to be a deconstructor of the year?
I asked that actually after I won the award, and they said that it was, we had taken on a lot of challenges for the industry. We had taken on a lot of different types of buildings. We tried desperately to create, green-collar jobs, as we call it, and saved 100 million pounds from the landfill. But I think a lot of it was the volunteer efforts that we made to see that a lot of the struggling businesses that they just can't figure out how to make the economics work. So we would sort of help them out, as a free service, and that was really the key point that allowed us to win the award.
Home deconstructor Dave Bennink.
Now, you might